With the growth of AI, Web3, the metaverse, all of the need for rendering comes the need for GPUs, graphic processing units. And this coin right here has been making me money, man. I love it. You know what I'm saying? I love what makes me money. I've recently taken the big render pill. At first, I've been making short-term positions, long-term positions, but now I have a forever position within the render network. Welcome to the FreeDEM Culture. Here at the FreeDEM Culture, I like to discuss current events in the financial sector, this new digital economy, and also breaking down blockchain technology in the most understandable terms possible. I'm completely convinced that this coin will hold a lot of value going forward in the future. The coin that I'm speaking of is the Render coin, ticker symbol RNDR. The Render network was created by Jules Erbach. He's the pioneer of the 3D graphic space.
What's missing is something where if you're going to do, large scale movies, I mean, there's only so much power and capacity you can put into a single computer. And I always imagined that rendering in the cloud would be an important consideration. And I've been working on AI related stuff as well. I mean, the intersection of graphics and machine learning is obviously really obvious now. But the idea with the render network was something that I had all the way back in the mid 2000s. And as I developed Otoy, and our software, Octane Render, is used for Marvel movies. It's used to render things on the MSG Sphere. It's being used currently to do a lot of work for the Apple glasses. We're building an app. Others are doing the same. And the thesis behind Render was at some point, the steady at home model appealed to me, right? I mean, the ability of paying people's latent GPUs. A lot of millions, hundreds of millions of people have GPUs for video games. Now it's you have high-end GPUs in every single iPhone that are competitive with desktop GPUs of 7 or 8 years ago. And as we productized our software, we had customers, and they included Marvel, like Marvel rendered Ant-Man and the Wasp, the 2-minute intro in 2018 on GPUs in the cloud. But we were seeing that as VR was kicking off, and as customers would push for more GPU capacity, we'd run out. I mean, we were using Amazon. Eric joined our advisory board in 2013 to get Google's GPUs to be part of our system, and everybody was running out. There were maybe 10,000 GPUs available. Now there's maybe in the you have in the hundreds of thousands. But when you have millions of artists and each one needs to do a render job that takes a couple of hundred or 1,000 GPUs, it was something we almost had to shut down the service by mid 2016 because of the fact that there was it was actually one of our partners, MSG, that was 6 months of AWS rendering time for a deadline that was in 3 months. Was impossible. And that's when I realized, I should dust off the idea of the render network. And this was, in 2017, there was a lot of excitement around Ethereum. A lot of people were having, there were millions of GPUs out there in those days, NVIDIA 1080 Ti's that were set up to mine Ethereum. And they weren't really making a ton of money, but we were spending top dollar on Amazon, Google, Azure, and others to supply these GPUs to artists. And the problem is, sure, you can get spot instance pricing. It's a tenth the price, but if you don't have that availability, you're always paying for the top dollar. So the Render network was born out of the concept of just taking out. I had a patent that I filed in 2009 called token-based billing for ray tracing. For every ray that's used in a CG operation or perceptron for neural rendering, it was something you could create an energy unit around, and that's how the Render token was born. We put it on the Ethereum network in 2017. It was in beta for a while, and it slowly we phased out our centralized rendering on Amazon and had individual user GPUs be used for everything else. And there was, we had within weeks we had triple or 4 times the capacity of all the GPUs on all 3 cloud providers. We have a wait list of about 1 million GPUs. And as the jobs are scaling up, and as of course now AI jobs are becoming even more of an intense driver of demand, an early way of leveraging something that we knew there was demand for, because our own tools and our own partners and our own customers were driving that. And in fact, the very first commercial job was done for the creative director of ILM. And it was, something that he did to the Hayden Planetarium. It had to be done the next day. We did it in 30 minutes. And he was our first customer. His name was John Knoll. He was also the creator of Photoshop.
So if you're a content creator and you don't have enough money to buy these big rendering GPUs and stuff like that, you can use the Render network. So my personal experience with this coin, I just heard about this coin from a friend, and I thank him very much for hooking me up, because this is my newfound love. You know, I'm normally an XRP guy, and I just shot my shot with this coin. I checked the TA. The TA looked nice, the technical analysis looked nice, and I made a couple of profits off of it. But I learned more about the business, and that's what you're supposed to do when you're getting into any other crypto projects. It's important to know the fundamentals of this coin. Who is the people that created this coin? What's their resume? You know, what is the fundamental of this coin? What could this do, and where is this coin going? What is the use cases? What would be the demand in this coin? So that's when I started digging more into that. And I realized I'm keeping a forever bag of render. You know, I'm okay with putting more money into this coin. Not financial advice, this is just what I'm doing.
So I like to play with the support and resistance of the different price zones based off of how the wick structures come along. And
okay.
So every time I see a giant wick down to the bottom, so if I zoom into this one here, like you can see that giant red candle.
Okay.
And so there's a giant wick there as I zoom in closer and closer towards it.
My earliest purchase was November 3rd was the date, and it was 222 was the price. That was my earliest purchase.
Right over here.
Yup.
So we wait for these big candles, ideally with a giant red wick down, and it takes us to the next ranges usually. And so we've been stuck in this current range between the 354 and the 464.
Where we're at right now, I don't know why I feel like I started to think that might have been a little bit of a pattern.
Well, see, you got this M.
Yeah.
My guess is, so my current thesis is that if we do test this area again, it's going to reject and it's going to come back down. I'm looking for another giant red candle right now. That's what I'm looking for. So we got one here, and we've got a small one right here, but I want another one to be like this or bigger. So that's pretty much my perspective. And so how long this is going to play out for, my guess is that over the Christmas break, you may get the retest to the 464 area, but it'll just probably get rejected for Christmas, and then somewhere getting closer towards the new year, maybe a week in or 2 weeks in, then we bounce off somewhere around the 350 mark. But yeah, we're looking for another big wick candle. That's gonna be my thing.
That big wick could happen any given moment.
Yeah, any moment.
Alright, and this is an update to the TA and the chart. So Angel and I had previously made a recording that you saw in this video, and we were roughly around this area when that happened. And what I predicted was somewhere around Christmas we would break, but then basically do a retest, and then the retest would fail. So what we ended up doing is going closer towards Christmas. We basically get a pre-pump up before Christmas. Christmas comes in, and we basically just kind of teeter off into nowhere. And then we keep on going out for another breakout to test out again, and it seems to be getting rejected. Now, I was seeking for one particular candle, and that one candle was printed right here. So let me just and so we got this candle here, and it's got this nice little wick, and ideally what I wanted was it to be bigger and deeper than what I got, but it was bigger than the last candle that was down here, and that gave us this nice little go up into this range. But this is just a micro range, and if we're gonna reach the new all-time high or back to previous all-time highs, we need a giant big red candle. And so we got one here, but like I said, that wasn't great. So if this continues to play out, it could potentially come back up here, and if we're lucky, maybe take us down to like the 550 mark, somewhere around here. But we're basically nibbling right now. We're entering in a dollar cost averaging, and what we're looking for is a bigger candle, a bigger red candle. And if we get that, what we're trying to see is maybe get somewhere around down here, maybe even closer down to 4. The likelihood and the probability of 4 is relatively low. However, I think it's still doable, and it's just a matter of what the markets are going to do. And so the time frame that I have all of this to play into effect to roughly around 560 in like two or so weeks is going to be my guess. So that is a TA update. We did get the thing that tested out during Christmas retest, and now we're just kind of we're just seeing what we're going to do, if we're going to channel back down and get one last little thing, or if this indicator, this candle here, was our good candle to say, hey, we're going to get this nice little pump up, and if this decides to create a W, then a double bottom, then we'll have a second indicator to say,
oh hey, 1111.
Oh,
Yeah.
bang, bang.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang, bang.
And
It just feels so good profiting from this space. I just love taking profits. I just love profit. I love being profitable. And Render token, the Render network, has been nothing but profitable to me lately, as of late. So I just thought that I'll share I'm just looking out, and I'm pro Render, so let's go Render. Like I said, I'm pro future, and the reason why is because what we have in our advantage is knowledge. That's why it's important to do your own research. We can research what I've done. I've researched the 4th Industrial Revolution. I've researched all of the new innovations that's taking place, and I'm able to use my common sense, really, what will be required in order to make these dreams come true. Anyways, I hope you like this video. I hope it inspires you to take a look at this coin right here. And yeah, like, comment, subscribe, keep up with me on the FreeDEM Culture. Click the links below. Check out the book I have teaching cryptocurrency to beginners and its potential in this space. You gotta get in this space. There's too much money to be made out here for you to sit on the sidelines, man. The Render network is like, it's like catching the video before it blew up. You know what I'm saying? And I always was like, damn, if I only got in on the video before that sudden price increase happened, I'll be set. But now's my chance. So anyways, I hope you liked the video. Peace, love, respect. Take care of yourself. Later.